Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, November 21st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. One quick clarification here, I'm using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol QUBT. Very nice mover today. Got a big upwards movement. Actually, let me get rid of that as it's an old annotation. But now we have a good solid pattern here that has been put into play. And this is a pattern where as I draw it, please don't think that I'm trying to impress you or implying that this is some sort of great discovery on my part or some sort of special talent. No, the exact opposite. A lot of people have noticed this pattern. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So let's keep this all one color now. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here. And for you golfers out there, let me put the golf down there, make it a little bit more visual for you. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because there's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it catch people off guard if this thing came up here, broke that level, and then that break in and of itself creates additional buying pressure? That would not be any sort of shocking dynamic at all. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but more than a reasonable conclusion. So if you like bull pennant patterns, you like this price range down around the $5 mark, keep an eye on it. Next one here, MARA, and I'm going to go through this one relatively quickly because you just heard me talk about it. Now, is it the exact same looking pattern? It's not, but it is still generally called the same thing, and I guess I need to make that line that long. And again, let me change that to green to represent support. And just because I can't help myself, let's keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up right there. We have the golf hole down there. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. I would say the biggest difference here is that just this one's a little bit more quote unquote expensive as it's up over $20. But regardless, you can see right here, classic example of another bull pennant right there, which was the breakout today. So whenever multiple bull pennants are being formed, that is a good thing. You can see bull pennant number one got the breakout, which is formed bull pennant number two, which leads to the question of, is this going to lead to another bull pennant? Well, not necessarily on Thursday, but I mean, it very well could. But at the end of the day, multiple bull pennants are implying that the uptrend is being constructed with higher highs and higher lows, and that's what it's all about. Next one, SMCI, and this one finally decided to act human here a little bit as it did not put in a higher high on the day, but that is totally fine, assuming you're not some sort of day trader. So I do realize there's a little bit of perspective. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, or maybe you bought yesterday right there and your plan was to buy and sell pretty quickly, well, yeah, then from that angle, things aren't looking so good because the price has pulled back a bit more. But what I want to do here, actually, we'll leave that one up because that still pertains. So we have this area of resistance right here. Nothing has changed in regards to that. But as far as the lower trend line is concerned now, we have a lower trend line right there. So you basically have this wedge. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could turn this into a multi-day bull pennant pattern, but I won't go that far because no need to overcomplicate it. Really, as far as I'm concerned, you have this as a very important level of support. I guess I'll take that back. Not very important because even if the price were to break below there, you still do have the purple line there, the 50-period moving average, and the pink line there being the 200-period moving average, right slightly below there. So yeah, it's important, sure, but is it like a do or die level? Not at all. Now, if the price crashes down through both of those moving averages at that point, yeah, that starts to change the conversation. But preferably speaking, though, if the price could stay above that trend line, that would be best case scenario. And then if the price does bounce back upwards, main battleground that you're going to want to watch from a resistance standpoint, right up there at that overarching level right there. But like I said, big picture wise, sure, it pulled back today, but still plenty of opportunity to build a higher low, and that's what you want to see, assuming that you're bullish from the bigger picture. Next one here, TNXP, and overall interesting scenario here, as things did look pretty, they still do look relatively ugly, but they look a little bit more interesting. I mean, when the price was way up here, things were looking strong, but no doubt about that, that right there, pretty ugly movement. But what's happened since then is we now have some sideways action. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price now started to go sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is done going down, and for sure guaranteed the price is going to go back upwards. My point here is that let's just say the price was looking something like this. Still dropping. I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this is the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait a second, based on what? The price literally just going straight down. But that's not the case here, right? The price has at least started to go sideways. So does that mean it's a guaranteed bottom? It doesn't. It just makes it a more than plausible scenario to throw out there. So as far as areas of support are concerned, bottom of this consolidation sideways pattern right there at 0.182, and then top of the sideways area right here around 0.215, so 21.5 cents on that angle. So that's what it's really about moving forward. Is this sideways channel the leading indicator that the pullback is over? Is it getting ready to curl back upwards? We'll see what happens. Next one, NVDA, and this one had a very impressive movement in the upwards direction today. Let me take a step back. A very impressive last 30 minutes. It's not like overall it exploded upwards, but last 30 minutes it got down around this trend line here, found some support, and then broke back upwards in a big way. And this was all occurring on very, very impressive volume, which you can see right there. Sorry for the awkward pause, but it just on me. I'm pretty sure NVIDIA has earnings, and they do indeed have earnings. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines, and we're going to just move things out, make them a little bit broader of levels, because with earnings, things can get pretty crazy. I am not going to adjust that line right there because that remains a multi-day resistance trend line. So if the price can get up through there, that would definitely be a good thing, and that's what you would want to see from just an overall perspective. And I'm just curious, so I'm going to pull it up off screen, see how this one's behaving right now in after hour. Okay, kind of all over the place. So I'll just bring that down. So as of right now, you can see earnings, came out right there. Big plunge back up. So kind of just chopping around right around that area. Now, where the price ultimately opens on Thursday morning, that still remains to be seen. But regardless, I'm going to keep that line in right there in terms of that key overarching level of resistance. And then as far as supports are concerned, the main level in my mind right down there around the $138 mark. So we'll see if the price, does it stay within this range tomorrow, after earnings? Does it break one way or the other? We'll see what happens. But technically speaking, those are definitely some key multi-day levels. Real quick, if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for this free live webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen, then get signed up for it. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage there that you can use to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol NIO. Very crazy day on this one, but once again, you have some overarching levels that I think can help simplify this. And the one level that stands out to me right here, that trend line at that area. Now, I realize that this level here was well below there, but that was almost kind of it happened, but almost like kind of an outlier data point. I think that level is going to just do a better job of just kind of forecasting and just illustrating that the current upwards movement that is occurring, within the broader scope of things. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could just use the purple line there, 50-period moving average, because as the name implies, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So it's essentially a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. But we'll leave that trend line down here just in case you want to get that into place. And then in terms of areas of resistance, we have looming large overhead, the downward sloping 200-period moving average. So again, because it's a moving average, that line will continue to move itself downwards and get more and more relevant. So in all actuality, if we just want to use these moving averages right here, we have a moving average, and then we have that moving average. Both these are essentially creating a wedge pattern, which will eventually run out of room, and then it just becomes a question of who is ultimately going to win that battle. But from an overarching standpoint of things, definitely keep an eye on both those areas, and we'll see which way the price finally decides to break. Next one, SLXN. I should have put this one earlier, but previously, hopefully you remember, we talked about one that started off strong, and then it got pretty rough as it came all the way down, but then it started to go sideways, and as I mentioned, sideways action does not guarantee a bottom, but it makes it a whole lot more valid and reasonable to think that that could be a leading indicator of a bottom. So with that being said, I want to respect your time as much as possible, so I'm just going to map out these levels, and we'll keep on moving here because you've already heard me give the kind of the spiel on all this. So the top part of this sideways action right here at the 36-cent mark, bottom part of all this sideways action right down there, give or take around the 29.293 mark. So keep an eye on that. And again, it just becomes a question of, is this sideways action a signal that a bottom is in and this thing's getting ready to head back upwards? Grab your popcorn and we'll see what happens. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and this will be very quick because there's not a whole lot to report other than just kind of confirmation of previous levels. But if you did watch the other top 10 videos, then you know that we've been mapping out and watching these two areas right here. And you can see right now that the price is still between these, came down and did a beautiful job of respecting that lower trend line right here several days. And now it's got a little bit of a bounce off of it. So it's getting within striking distance of that area right there. But also this pattern here, because these lines are converging, it is running out of room. So a decision is going to need to be made soon. So that's really kind of the big question mark moving forward, is who is going to win this battle? It's still stuck between those levels. So sure, in that regard, nothing new to update. But no, biggest update is that the room is running out. A battle is coming. Who is going to win the battle? Grab your Sour Patch Kids, grab your popcorn, and we'll see what happens. Next one here, SPAI. I like this one quite a bit as it made the big move up, pulled back, not only went sideways, which, as we know, we've talked about in a couple of the other ones, but it's actually got a nice little upwards slope to it. So yes, there's still work to be done if it's going to get back up to those previous areas. But now we have, I think, a pretty well-defined key breakout point right there at $3.25. Going through the history of things, you can see rejected the price, and then even the last 30 minutes essentially rejected the price right there. The good news is it is knocking on the door, so that doesn't guarantee anything, but it does make it more than valid to suggest, yeah, I think this level is going to be broken because the price, if the price was down here and had to travel all the way up here just to do battle with it, that's much different than where it is now, where the price has to travel that distance right there. So it does not mean it'll for sure break out, but I completely understand somebody thinking that there's a great chance that it could. In terms of levels of support, key level of support right there at that trend line right there. So a nice little wedge formation. You could almost call this a little miniature ascending triangle pattern. So let's see if it can indeed get that breakout back to the upside. Next one here, TQQQ. A wild day on this one. All the way down, back up, kind of back down. And, this trend line here is kind of just, I'm just going to get rid of it. It didn't really play that much of a role at all. But check out the last 30 minutes here. That makes quite a bit of a difference in terms of just kind of the dynamic as we head into Thursday here. And that was all occurring on big volume right there. So as of right now, it is, to be fair, slightly above that pink line, 200 period moving average, which is good, but I want to get overly excited about it. Because it is still down below that red line right there, 77.50, which has presented an area of resistance previously. So definitely going to need to keep an eyeball on that one in terms of whether or not the price can push up through there. If the price can push up through it, then it's certainly got some distance to run. No doubt about that, with the next level of resistance not until up there around 79.60. So, keep an eye on that. There's definitely some potential to really pick up momentum and move quickly. But, one hurdle at a time. First, got to see if the price can clear up through that level at 77.50. But overall, nice recovery today, late day. Very impressive last 30 minutes. So let's see if this 30 minutes, or I should say final 30 minutes, carries into Thursday. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but real quickly for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, definitely get signed up for the free live class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, November 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And also, as far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and you want to just support the channel in a super easy and free way, please hit that subscribe button. That really does help out. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. Real quick clarification. We are now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours instead of 30 minutes. That is because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and I want this video and analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible. So by using the longer time frame and then walking you through some questions, we can make ensure that is the case. So what I'm going to do here is just Bitcoin continues to grind higher and higher. I'm going to get rid of that level. It has been broken. And I just want to extend this trend line out here because for those of you that have watched the past videos, you know that we've been tracking it. And really that's where the first question comes into play. So question number one, let's say you're watching this video 20 hours after I upload it. Where is the price at relative to that trend line right there? As long as you're answering the question that the price is above that trend line, there is nothing to worry about at all. Even if the price is somewhere down around here, all that's giving you is a very solid, nice looking, bull flag pattern. So any sort of pullback, not a big deal. And even if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below that trend line, in my opinion, still nothing to worry about. The only point where things start to get a little sketchy and a little, what's going on here is if somehow you're answering the question that the price is down below 84,500. I highly doubt you are, but in the event that the price is down below there, then yeah, something at that point is wrong. Something has, something has shifted, and that would be a bigger red flag. But like I said, if the price is above that initial trend line right there, everything is still perfectly fine. And then in terms of areas of resistance, it's really just common sense in regards to if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is right here, okay, the price is way up here, that's even better. So, I mean, how far up above this trend line is it? The further up above it is, the more strong, the more bullish the situation is. So, like I said, in that direction, common sense will take you far. But really, the past several days have just been continuing, hey, let's just watch that trend line. And as long as the price stays above it, which it's been doing beautifully, then overall, Bitcoin is still perfectly healthy. As I invited the stock traders, I want to invite you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this class, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used and considered within the world of Bitcoin and crypto also. So as mentioned, it'll be very soon, Thursday, November 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And like I mentioned earlier, if you enjoy these top 10 videos and you want to support the channel in an easy way, please just hit that subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class. Have a good one.